Mixing all those things together, similarly like I'm going to do right now with this banana in the Oodkac, you're going to get a different flavor, and that's the way Somalians eat. And then you should probably try to eat that way too, just because then you're getting the full picture. If you're eating a fried chicken dinner, you're not going to, I got nothing there.
That's okay.
Here again, moments before rushing to work. Mountains to move, people to please, problems to solve, and the ever-important push that is burned into any career cook worth a damn. To push is an ever-evolving meaning for me, a mixture of working through sleepless nights here and there, rolling the boulder up the hill, creating a new path that becomes comfortable but not a rut. But that's an hour, 60 minutes, 3,600 seconds from now. From this moment, I get to enjoy a sweet ending that follows a bitter memory and a genuine relief that is always in short supply on a day-to-day. Mogadishu is a Somalian restaurant, an untreaded path for most Chicagoans, including myself for the most part. But after a stint of opening a previous restaurant, it became a nice spot for a free moment and a menu I'm still exploring. Generous portions of goat, lamb, rice, chicken and pasta. Maybe a slightly odd pairing to a Western palate. But a starch is a starch, a protein, and along with the use of your hands and a banana mashed in with some bright and lightly spicy hot sauce, some spiced greens and salad, you too will understand what's going on here. This morning, I indulge in a dish that instantly caught my eye last time I was here. Oodkac, or Oodkac. Camel meat rendered and then picked back up in ghee with Enjera, a sourdough crepe. Good lord, a simple and flavorful pick-me-up. Along with more Enjera and the traditional pairing of a Somalian breakfast of honey, sesame oil, and olive oil. Not to mention tea that you get yourself and refill. 1, 2, 3.
Hello again, this is Mike. I am here on a nice quiet Saturday morning at Mogadishu, in between Cabrini Green and River North. It's a nice little quiet street on North Orleans. We're here today to eat Somali breakfast. One of the things I got today is called Oodkac. It is cooked up with ghee, so then it's kind of rehydrating it, making it a little fattier, and giving it a big depth of flavor. And underneath, we have multiple layers of Enjera, which is very similar to Ethiopian cuisine, if you've ever had that, which is like a sourdough crepe. However, they do theirs on a griddle, and it makes kind of like a dosa-like pattern on the outside. Sour and sweet, and also the Enjera on the bottom with the traditional Somali breakfast served with this delightfully spiced tea. You have sesame oil, honey, and olive oil to eat the Enjera with, and a banana that you also have that is often accompanied by almost all the Somalian dishes here that you eat along with all the food. It's important to be eating with your hands because when you eat Somalian food, if you eat just one part of it, that's not really how people eat, and you won't get the full flavor. So by mixing things together and using your hands to eat, you're getting a very overarching flavor that you wouldn't get otherwise if you were just eating individual parts like you would in Western cuisine. So I'm going to take some of this Enjera with this
So the banana doesn't come into play right now.
Not yet. So along with adding, eating the Oodkac with the Enjera, often throughout the meal you'll add a little bit of banana. It just heightens and rounds the flavor out. You get the sweetness. Also, they're very nutritious, which is why it's often served with the meal. But it also just adjusts the flavor. Like some of the other dishes that you can get here during lunch, like the KK with meat, can be served by themselves because it's like an already pre-made dish. But if you were to get like the chicken and spaghetti, all these things that might not be well-known pairings in Western cuisine, if you eat them with a banana and again eating with your hands, you get an entirely different experience. And by mixing them all together, you get the spices from each part of the dish. The chicken and spaghetti dish has like a stir-fried veggie or a stewed veggie along with it that has plenty of spices. It has a little bit of a salad to it. It has spaghetti that's dressed very similar to like something your mom might make, and then spiced chicken. And by adding and mixing all those things together, similarly like I'm going to do right now with this banana and the Oodkac, you're going to get a different flavor, and that's the way Somalians eat. And then you should probably try to eat that way too, just because then you're getting the full picture. The Oodkac is great. It's a leaner meat that probably used to be a little fattier, but has rendered down a little bit. And then refrying it with the ghee gives it like a really nice, warm, fatty taste. One of the reasons why I picked this place to come to today, or I opened a restaurant down the street. At the end of that restaurant, which ended up closing because of investor bailout, basically, my sous chef and myself at the time walked down the street. We noticed that there was a Somalian restaurant, and we decided to come here for kind of our bidding farewell meal. So this place always has a special place in my heart. I can't get it out of my head. Coming here once in a while and enjoying the food just like brings me back to like kind of a bittersweet time. But the thing that makes it all better is the amazing food, the fun hospitality. If you're here during the middle of the day, you have plenty of taxi drivers and stuff stopping off, getting food. You'll have the guy running the register giving his customers shit. You have the customers talking loudly at each other and arguing over where the best Enjera is from within Somalia or within other countries that also do something similar, like Ethiopia. It becomes just a really fun, warm place to be, which is what off hours is all about, because when you're tired and you only have a few hours of sleep in you and you just want to eat good food and feel comfortable and get something new and exciting, that's where you want to be. All right, so the reason why I got this is because I've never had it before. I looked it up on the internet, and like rendered out meat that is refried in ghee sounds absolutely amazing, and it is a really great breakfast. It's not overly seasoned. Your stomach's not going to be churning after this. You have this nice rich meat with a little bit of spices in there. It's nice and fatty and warming, but it's not too much. There's not chunks of fat in the meat, but there is the fat that it's cooked in. So you get like this really nice, tender, a little bit of chew, along with Enjera, which adds the sourness and sweetness that like a good sourdough kind of crepe works. Meat itself is like ever so salted, where it's just like perfect. A little bit of generalized spice in there. I can't quite put my fingers on it, Along with the banana, it brightens up the dish and kind of gives you just another plethora of flavor. Now, if you haven't eaten Somalian food before, I recommend that you just give it a try. The flavors that you're going to get are very similar to an Indian food, an Ethiopian food. It's African, so definitely veering more in the realm of Ethiopian or other African food that you may have tried. If you haven't tried African food, you should also try African food. Enjera itself is just like one of the most inviting crepes. The way they do it here, as opposed to like having Enjera from like Ethiopia, where it's just like folded loaf of delightful sourdough. This is almost more like a dosa, where they're putting it on a griddle, taking a very similar batter, making rings on the plancha, and you get these beautiful different colors, again very similar to a dosa. And who doesn't like a sourdough flatbread? The wonderful and delightful pull and tear of this, it's like such a nice tender thing in the morning. This is for breakfast, so you're not looking for an insanely spiced dish, because that would completely ruin your day. Everybody eats pancakes. Try this pancake. As I'm peeling away this layer of the Oodkac on top of the Enjera, what you get underneath is just the Enjera, which is the Somali breakfast that you would get here. It comes along with sesame oil, olive oil, honey, and of course, this delightful tea. This tea, last time I was here, I drank 3 cups. It's $1. You get it yourself, which is also like an amazing, like warm feeling just to know that it's like somebody inviting you into your house. Like, here's a cup, get the tea yourself. The tea is fantastic, similar to chai tea. It's got ginger, clove, cinnamon, and milk, and you can just drink it constantly. Like, it is sweet, flavorful, spiced. We're here at 7:30 in the morning, and this is one of the best things to do to start your day. Oh. So for the rest of the Somali breakfast, I'm adding a little bit of the olive oil, the sesame oil, and the honey. The same way you would have a pancake, put syrup on it. You get the nice fattiness and flavor of the olive oil and the sesame oil, and then you get that nice sweetness from the honey, of course. And it's, a sourdough pancake. Mogadishu owners, it's great to feel at home in a place that you've created from your home, that you're also providing a wonderful stop for any of your other countrymen, countrywomen, country people to come in and dine, feel like they're welcome, and by doing so for your community, you also do so for me. So I really appreciate that, and really appreciate the fact that I can, try the food.